7 p.m. At this time, we will call to order the regularly scheduled meeting of the Orion Township Zoning Board of Appeals. Please call the roll.
Dan Durham.
Here.
Don Walker.
Here.
Tony Cook.
Here.
Diane Danaskis here. A quorum is present.
Thank you. Next up, we have the minutes from our 9th of February meeting. Do any board members have any concerns, changes, or motions?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minutes as submitted be voted on.
Support. Thank you. I have a motion on the floor with support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have agenda review and approval for tonight's business. 2 cases. Before we get started, does the board have any concerns or statements to be made before we get going?
Mr. Chair, I move that the agenda be approved.
And I will support. We have a motion by Mrs. Danaskis, supported by myself. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes, and we will open the public hearing on our first case at 7:01 p.m. First case being AB 2026-04, Andrew Zucker at 3711 Walden Road, Sidwell 09-200-020. Petitioner seeking one variance on zoning ordinance 78, zoned SF, Article 5, Section 5.04. Number 1 is a 6-foot side yard setback variance from the required 20 feet for a house addition to be 14 feet from the side property line to the west. Petitioner, please, come on up. Make sure your mic's on. Introduce yourself.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Zucker.
Let us know what you'd like to do, please.
I would just like to add a addition off the side of the kitchen on my house. It's an old farmhouse that was brought there, I believe, in the 90s. So it's kind of a wonky layout, and then they put an addition on each side. So initially, I planned to go back with it. I wanted to add a great room just for family and entertainment and hosting and stuff. But when I sat down with my architect, he was big concern with the 3 different roof levels off the back with the 2 additions in the main part of the home and water intrusion. So he came up with a better layout with the great room off the side of the kitchen. And we weren't aware of the setbacks being 20 feet at the time. So as before he got too far along, I checked into it, and then that's when I applied for the variance.
Question that doesn't have anything to do specifically with why you're here, but where you want to put that, is your traffic flow inside the house going to work for you?
Yes, that was the main reason. He liked the flow of it better, and then he also liked the curb appeal of it's not going to look so much like additions on additions onto an old house. It would bump it forward and just give it a nicer look for that as well.
Thank you. Board members.
When did you purchase the property?
December.
So, Mr. Chairman, and aside from the flow itself and the concern with the roof line, had you considered, or what are some of the reasons why you wouldn't put it to the east?
The driveway mainly. There's also a wellhead right there off the front as well. A brand new well they just put in before I purchased it.
Again, doesn't matter about why you're here. I'm just curious. When was the main structure built?
It's kind of a funny thing. I took a while actually up here at the desk to figure out what happened, because during some light renovations, I found a lot of old knob and tube that had abandoned. So that puts it back to the 30s, I would guess. But the home technically was picked up and moved there sometime in the 90s. Yeah, it was kind of one photo, there was nothing but a farm field, and then the next, the house was there. So, and then at some point, which they didn't have record of, there was 2 additions put onto it on either side.
Thank you. Mrs. Danaskis, do we have any incoming information, letters, or?
No.
Thank you.
I do have a question, Mr. Chair.
Please.
Where is the current, whatever you would call the living room now, this is like a great room that you're planning to add.
Correct.
Where would the current living room be?
As soon as you step into the house on the front porch.
Ah, okay, thank you.
Do we have anybody that came to speak to this tonight in the audience, specific to this case? Thank you. Seeing none, public comment is closed. At 7:05.
Mr. Chairman?
Ms. Cook?
Sir, I'm just looking at the aerial. How many, are you going to have to affect any of the trees there?
I don't believe so, but the roots.
Or
would
remove,
be a
I should say, any of
concern.
the trees?
Yeah, it'll be within the trees, but it will be kind of close, so I don't know, when I start trenching footings, I don't know if that'll kill them or not, with, just chopping them, so. I'm not sure, I'll probably look at that a little closer, and get some opinions.
That leads to my next question, which is, have you spoken with your neighbor on
Yes, I
that
have.
side about it and mentioned that about the trees?
Yeah, and they were totally fine, they said, whatever you gotta do, they said, your property, we're glad you're, improving it, and they seemed very nice. I introduced myself to both sides and told them my plan before I even came down here and applied.
Walker?
Would you be willing to put on the record that you would attempt to save the trees if at all possible?
Yes, absolutely. I would prefer that if I can.
Okay, thank you.
Probably when the motion is made, that will be included as a condition.
Okay.
As long as you're fine with it, we're all good.
Yes, absolutely.
These motion forms are more complicated than it seems. There's a specific format they have to follow.
I can imagine.
Chair, care to make a motion?
Ask us, please do.
In the matter of ZBA case number AB 2026-04, Andrew Zucker, 3711 Walden Road, Sidwell 0930200020, I move that the petitioner's request for one variance from zoning ordinance number 78, zoned SF, Article 5, Section 5.04, 1, a 6-foot side yard setback variance from the requested 20 feet for a house addition to be 14 feet from the side property line to the west, be granted for the application date stamped and received January 8, 2026, because the petitioner did demonstrate that the following standards for variances have been met in this case, and that they set forth facts which show that in this case, the petitioner does show the following practical difficulty. This is a long and narrow property, even though there's quite a bit of property, it is very narrow. The petitioner did consider putting the addition to the back of the property, which is the longer dimension. However, it was deemed to be impractical by the architect because of the possibility of potential water damage from the numerous rooftop heights that were there previously with them moving into the house. The following are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applicable to the property that do not apply generally to other properties in the same district. This home already had previous additions, leaving limitations as to where they could add on. And building to the east, which would have been another option, would have intruded on a well that's currently there and the driveway. Variances are necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of a substantial property right possessed by the property in the same zone or vicinity. The home is made up of small rooms cut up throughout the house. They needed an additional larger living space to enjoy their home and adequately entertain and enjoy that house. Granting the variance and modifications will not be materially detrimental to the public welfare or materially injurious to the property or improvement in such a zone or district in which the property is located. That concludes my motion. Oh, and I'm sorry, it was not self-created because, as I said, the house had previous additions and has other restrictions that don't allow to build in without the variance.
I may have listened past it. Did you put the part in about attempting to save the trees?
I did not, but I can add that.
With that, I will second the motion, Lord Almighty. We have a motion on the floor by Mrs. Danaskis with support by myself. Do we have any further discussion by members of the board?
Mr. Chair, I'd also just like to add that the fire marshal had no concerns about this particular addition.
Thank you. Very good, we'll put that in with the motion. Anything further by the board? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Diane Danaskis, yes. Tony Cook?
Yes.
John Walker? Yes. Dan Durham?
Yes.
Yes.
Request passes. Good luck to you.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks for coming in. Next, at 7:14, we will open the case, or the hearing, on our next case, 2026-06, Ryan Skalnick Ford at 1900 South Lapeer Road, Sidwell 09-14-300-075. The action required is they are wanting to get one variance from zoning, from sign ordinance 153, Zone GB, Section 7, ground and wall signs in non-residentially zoned areas. Number one, a variance for up to 2 additional wall signs in addition to the one allowed for a total of up to 3 wall signs. Introduce yourself, please.
Ryan Skelnick from Skelnick Ford.
Explain to us why you need what you're requesting.
Yeah, we're seeking 2 additional wall signs on our development. So as a car dealership, we do have a unique set of needs for additional signage. One of the first ones is a service sign that directs our customers to our service area. So our highest volume of traffic on a daily basis is to our service department. So if you look there, that designated as our service drive. We are a little bit more unique because we also have a manufacturer attached to our name. So the Ford oval is to identify, obviously, the brand, and then Skelnick is designated to identify us as the dealer operator. Due to a couple different things that are beyond our control, one, Ford has facility standards, and our facility has to look a certain way to approve our relocation under the Michigan State franchise law. So this meets Ford standards. Additionally, with the large building frontage, all these signs just bunched together wouldn't really make much sense. The ordinance allows one wall sign at 200 square feet total. All three of our wall signs combined are just under 108 square feet. So if this variance is granted, which is what we are requesting, we would still be way under the total allowance in terms of wall sign area. Again, it's in line with other properties, commercial properties in the area. Other dealers in our community have 5, 4, and 8 wall signs on their buildings, just to kind of give you a comparison. This is pretty minimal for similar uses in our community.
Question for you. I don't believe I heard you correctly. You're not telling me that Ford Motor Company would tell you if you don't get a variance, you can't have a building and open?
So Ford has criteria for us to hit with our facilities. We have to have a certain look in order to get our relocation approved by the manufacturer. I don't know what that would look like if our variance didn't get approved, but I'm pretty confident it would be a pretty arduous task for us to overcome.
Understood, and I don't want to make issue with you because
Yeah.
you happen to be here. But our ordinances are what they are, and there have to be standards met to be able to get a variance. And speaking only for myself, if it makes Ford unhappy that our ordinances are the way they are, that's okay.
Yeah, I understand that.
The burden is still on you as the petitioner to demonstrate, and you may have no problem doing that at all, but demonstrate that these are needed and what there is about your property that requires them.
Well, actually, to reiterate the service, that's very important for our customers to be able to know where to go. It's a rather large property versus other businesses in our area. The building's 55,000 square feet, just under 10 acres. So we want our customers and people in our community that frequent our business to be able to get to the places safely and correctly. The Ford Oval, I understand we're not here to make them happy, but does identify us as a unique business, just like any other business has their logos on the buildings. And then the Skelnick logo is to identify us as the business owner in the situation. There are, I guess, I brought up the Ford manufacturer thing because the fact that this is zoned to be a car dealership and not any other business, when we went through our rezoning process and special use, that was part of our conditions. So there are some unique circumstances that are applicable to this property because it was rezoned with the intent of it being a Ford dealership.
Board members. The other gentleman out in the audience, did you want to speak to this matter tonight? Because if that's what you came to do, we'll ask this gentleman to surrender the microphone, and you come on up and you
So
speak.
this is our sign contractor.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kevin Dieters from Metro Signs in Warren, and I'm just here to, just as sort of backup if there were any other questions about the signage. I don't really have much to add in addition to what Ryan said, other than I do believe that due to the size of the building, the large frontage and large size of the building, that these three relatively small wall signs are justified, and that's what makes this site unique, is the size of the building, as opposed to a smaller, single-tenant building that they don't want to have more than one wall sign at 200 square feet. This is definitely a unique circumstance because of the service above the bay doors, the fact that they are a Ford dealership, as well as having the dealer name branded. And our three wall signs, because they're small and they're aesthetically pleasing, spread out across the building. I believe if this variance is granted, that it wouldn't be burdensome to any neighboring properties or anything like that. But I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Board members, please. We won't call you public, we'll call you a co-applicant. How's that?
Sounds good.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Walker.
I'm not the biggest fan of signs. In this case, however, looking at the size of the building, not you tip how I'm going to vote on this matter. It seems to be an awfully large building, and considering that the applicant, the total square footage of the three requested signs are under the total square footage they could have if it was just one sign. Sort of like, I think of it as a cherry pie sliced up. And the fact that you would need a sign to direct your people that came in for service, wouldn't want people driving around as a safety hazard, trying to look for where to get into the building. And I'm not being paid by Skolnick to say all these things, but it all seems to make sense to me, what I'm saying.
Mr. Chair. So as I'm facing the building to what would be the north side, is that an additional service bay there? At some point you'll come back maybe for another sign, or what is that, a rolled door of some sort?
That is a car wash.
Car wash.
Yeah, so that,
Will signage be required for that? Okay. So that's not open to the public then?
no.
And since we have no public in the room, we will close public comment at 7:23. The board members are rolling over in their mind what they'd like to do here in the event that you're successful. When do you anticipate opening that place?
We're hoping for early May.
You've been at it a long time.
It's been a long, long road to get to here, yeah.
I remember when you were up the street for years and years.
Don't plan on hoping to come to too many more ZBA meetings, but you never know.
Cook.
I'd like to make a motion. In the matter of ZBA case AB 2026-06, Ryan Skelnick of Skelnick Ford, 1900 South Lapeer Road, Sidwell 09143000075. I move the petitioner's request for one variance from the sign ordinance number 153 zoned GB, section 7, ground and wall signs in non-residential zoned areas. Number one, a variance for 2 additional wall signs in addition to the one allowed for a total of 3 wall signs be granted for the application date stamped received January 20th, 2026. Because the petitioner did demonstrate the following standards of variance have been met in this case, and that they set forth facts which show that in this case, petitioner does show the following practical difficulty, and that really just boils down to the size of the property itself and the fact that it's a new building and that it's a safety concern in terms of getting people to where they need to be in moving vehicles. The following are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applicable to the property involved that do not apply generally to other properties in the same district. And that's that in this particular case, they are eligible for up to 200 square feet, and the combined total of all 3 of them is less than that. I believe it was 108 square feet total. The variance or variances are necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of a substantial property right posed by other property in the same zone or vicinity, or smaller variances would be sufficient. Again, due to the distance of the building, the speed of that is on, the distance of the building from Highway 24, as well as the speed that is traveled on that. When people are coming in, they need to be able to know where they're going. The granting of the variance or modification will not be materially detrimental to the public welfare or materially injurious to the property or to improvements in such zone or district in which the property is located. The variance is not self-created, as the property is a total of 10 acres, and again, the building is located off of 24, fairly far. The list of any conditions, if any, to be included in the motion. The petitioner did discuss that to the far north side of the building that there is a car wash that will not require signage because it is something that will be utilized internally by employees of the car wash. And so that was just noted as a condition of this approval, that signage would not be required.
Motion on the floor by Mr. Cook, supported by Mrs. Janaskis. Anything additional by the board? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Don Walker,
Yes.
Tony Cook,
Yes.
Diane Danaskus, yes. Dan Durham.
Yes. Request passes. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
Good luck to you. Next, we have public comment. Did you, sir, have anything that you wanted to bring to the board? Okay, just wanted to soak it all in, huh? Gotcha. Okay, we have no public comment. Communications training, anything from the board? Seeing nothing there. We have no outstanding committees that I'm aware of. Any library business we need to know about? No? Member comments? Anything?
No, thank you.
As always, thank the board for the job you do here, make it possible. And beyond that, motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Support, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we're done.